Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. All right, guys, so if you all follow me and you're subscribed to my channel, then you know that last week I was trying to do a direct to vinyl using this image, but these details were too intricate to handle the cut. And so it basically just chopped it up when I put the DTV material in my cutting machine. So one of the ways that I can still accomplish having this image is to put an offset. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is the image. We're going to go to offset, and you can move this little radio button here to the right. Sometimes, depending on how intricate your image is, it may take a little bit of time. So for the purpose of this video, I've already added an offset to this image. So I'm going to just show you how to do it. But you will go here and click on offset, and then you want to actually slide to the right, not to the left, because that's going to decrease the size of the offset, which will not look really nice. All right, so you want to actually come towards the right, and then as you start to see it, you can determine how big or small, how big or small you want your offset to be. Once it shows here behind this little window, you don't want to close this window out until you see the offset show, like here. So now I see the offset, so now I can click on, if I want to go a little bit smaller on the offset, then I'll go towards the left, okay? If I want to make that offset really, really large, then I'll go to the right. And you can't really see it right now because Cricut is still thinking. All right, so once you see your offset and this button apply becomes active, and you'll know it'll change colors, then you can actually click on apply, and you'll have an offset that will allow your cutting machine to just cut around the image and not cut out all those individual letters and all the intricate details. Okay, so let's see if we can get it to go ahead and apply. I should have just left it alone, but I didn't. So now we're waiting and waiting and waiting. All right, let's see if it'll pick up here. But we're waiting on this apply to become active. If we click off of it now, then our offset will go away. And so I'm going to click off. Well, I guess it did take. I guess it did take, but it was still looking like it did not. Okay, so there we have our offset. Okay, so again, we're going to merge these two together so that Cricut will only cut around the border and not this part. Well, it did go away, guys, because we didn't wait for it to finish. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it's going to look like. So this is the offset. But again, make sure you wait until the apply becomes active, because if you don't, it'll look like it took, just like it did on my one before this, and then it'll go away. All right, so what I did is I added an offset, and then I changed the color of it to a dark blue. The reason I chose this kind of navy, kind of dark blue, is because my shirt is dark blue. So I wanted to kind of look seamless, okay? I didn't want to do white because I didn't want to mess up my hoop nails before, because and the before down here, because it's in white, and I didn't want to do black. So that's why I kind of did this navy blue. Now I'm going to show you what I did here. So you're going to have two layers here on your right, and one is going to be your offset, which is here, and then one is going to be your image. So if I click on the eye, my offset goes away. When I click back on the eye, it comes back. So this is your layer for your offset, and if you want to change the color, you just go right here where it says print then cut, and then you select whatever color you want it to be. Okay, so you can select any color that you want your offset to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go back and pick my navy up. I'm going to go to here to advance to make sure I get a really deep dark navy. And that's pretty good right there. All right, so once you get your 2 layers, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to highlight it by clicking outside and dragging it over both the image and the offset. And then we're going to click on flatten. And that's going to turn it into one print, then cut. Okay, just one print, then cut, and that's all we want. Okay. So at this point, you want to make sure that you did not exceed your 6.75 by 9.25, which is the largest that you can print inside Cricut Design Space. And I have mine set at the maximum. And I'm going to be printing this out and cutting it out on an 8.5 by 11 DTV, which is direct to vinyl material. So we're going to go ahead and click on Make It. And you see we have just one image here. And you do not mirror when you're using DTV. So at this point, we can go ahead and click on Continue. And we're going to send this to our printer. And so a couple of things to note here is since I've already added an offset, I'm going to remove this bleed, add bleed. And then I'm going to use my own printer settings. And so I'm using the HP OfficeJet Pro 7740. I'm going to click on Preferences. And I want this to go to my main tray. I'm using letter size paper, just plain paper. And I want the print quality to be best. I'm going to go back. And at this point, I'm ready to click on OK. And then I'm going to click on Print. Now I'm going to tell you that on the DTV, one side of the paper is white and the other side of the paper is kind of like a gray color. You want to put the white face down inside your printer. That way when it prints, it's going to print on the white side. You do not want to print on the gray side, okay? You're going to print on the white side. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to load my printer, I'm going to have this to print out, and then I'm going to come up on screen and we'll finish out everything. I'll let you see how it turns out here. All right, guys, so here is my image printed out. And so I'm going to put this into my cutting machine. I'm going to have my cutting machine to cut around so we don't have to worry about those little fine, intricate details. So what we're going to be using in Cricut Design Space, I'm going to click on Browse All Materials, and I'm going to choose the printable iron-on. I got to learn how to spell. Okay, hold on. Print. Okay, so I'm going to choose the printable iron-on light and click Done. That's what I'm going to be using to cut my image out. So we're going to go ahead and put it in my Cricut Maker. I have the tape on here just to help hold my paper down some because, yeah, my mat doesn't feel as sticky with this paper for some reason. So chime in the comments if you used this DTV before and it didn't seem like it was like really sticky to your mat. I can put other paper on here or material and it sticks just fine, but for some reason this gray backing acts kind of like slippery. So we're going to see what happens here. And the DTV, you also buy a mask if you're using where you have an image that has parts to it, but it's not connected, then you want to make sure that you use the mask. But since I'm using this image that's all connected and it's just going to cut around the outer area, I'm just going to peel mine up and put it on my t-shirt. I'm not going to use the mask at all. So you kind of save a little bit of money by not using the mask on big all-in-one images. I call it all-in-one images like this. So it is starting to cut. And just to kind of show you guys, it's just going around the outer edge and not through all the fine, intricate details. And it's going to go twice. So printable, iron on, vinyl, light, regardless of whether you're doing light or dark fabric, you want to choose the light. All right. So now what we're going to do is I want to just use my weeding tool to pull up on the area that I don't need. I'm going to turn this back around here. So I'm going to show you. But you want to be very careful, guys, because this stuff is very, very thin. So you can see I'm filling up my image. It's all in one. So just take your time and peel off. And there you have it. So now I'm going to take this over to my heat press. I'm going to press it at 310 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. All right. So I'll see you at the heat press. All right, guys, here we are. We are going to lint roll our shirt. Just to get off any hair particles or anything on there. And then we are going to heat press this for about 5 seconds just to get out any moisture. And then we're going to give it just a second to cool down. And that's because once you put your DTV on your t-shirt and it's hot, it's going to start trying to adhere to your shirt. So we're going to give it a second just to kind of cool down here. I'm going to come about 3 fingers from the neck when I lay this DTV down. And I'm going to be using not butcher paper, but Teflon paper today. You can use butcher paper or whatever type of craft paper you may have on hand to cover your DTV. I think it looks really pretty. I didn't do as dark a blue as I could have, but I think that light blue is really nice. So we're not using the mask because this was just a complete all over image that we could just peel off of the DTV backing. And so we're just going to put our Teflon sheet on top, and we're heat pressing at 310 for 15 seconds. And we're done. And she's beautiful. All right, so it is done. Let me turn my heat press off here. All right, so anytime you do the DTV, the recommendations is that you allow before you wear it to wait 24 to 48 hours. and then you want to wash it before you wear it. So you want to wash it in cold water. I would recommend that you just let it air dry, but you can put it in the dryer on a low dryer setting, and wash it inside out, and you know, to kind of preserve it. But they do recommend that you do not do this today and then turn around and wear it a couple of hours later, because they want to make sure that you wash it and get out any additional ink that may be in there, because you know we deal with all types of chemicals. And so to make sure that once you wash it, you don't have any chemicals, or before you wash it, you're not wearing it and you know you get that stuff on your body. Okay, so that is the process, guys. Again, this was a very intricate image, and there was no way that I would be able to do it on the DTV setting, and so I ended up just doing the offset. Okay, so offset, 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 and that will help you with your intricate images and still give you a really nice, you know, cut. Now I could have went in and tidied this up a bit, where Cricut kind of like, you know, kind of gave me an additional you know, a white space but it's totally fine. If you have fabric paint, you could also go in with some fabric paint around there, which I might do, but I might leave it because I'm kind of digging that little bit of white there. But I think it turned out really nicely. So chime in the comments, let me know what you think. Again, this is Caesar's DTV direct to vinyl that I'm using, and you get about 5 sheets of the DTV for about $15 on Amazon. You can also get the mask that will come with it if you have, let's say that on my previous image that I did, guys, on my previous tutorial, the earrings were not a part of the face, so the earrings were separate. So on that one I used my mask, because otherwise I would have pulled off the face part and then I would have had to peel off the earrings separately and place them. So to keep from doing that and misplacing them or having them look lump-sided, I just used the mask to peel the entire thing off. Now if you want to watch that tutorial, then please go back and check that one out. That's the last tutorial I did before this one, and you'll see how to use that mask. But yeah, that's it. That's her. She looks gorgeous. So I did eventually get that image that I got from Etsy. I will post in the description the information on the Caesar DTV and the mask, and also where I got this image from, or the supplier that I got this image from on Etsy. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns about the DTV process that I did not answer or that were not clear, then please chime in the comments, and I do respond to everyone. And the other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that you can stretch this. So I'm going to kind of sort of try to show you here. But if this stretches, you see that it doesn't interfere with the look and feel of the image, which I really like. So it does have a little bit of stretch in there. And for those that are asking, isn't this kind of like fabric transfer? Well, fabric transfer, you have to worry about if you're using light or dark. With the DTV, you can put it on a light or a dark t-shirt, and the recommended material setting in Cricut is the printable vinyl light. Even if you're doing a dark t-shirt, the recommendation is to use the light material setting. Okay, and also this one, even though you can kind of feel it a little bit, is very soft. It's not the feel of fabric transfer. Fabric transfer feels a little bit thicker, and this is supposed to last a little bit longer than your fabric transfer. So there are some pros and cons associated with DTV. There's pros and cons associated with fabric transfers. So it just depends on what do you want to do based on, you know, your dollar amount, your price point, you know, because fabric transfer is a little bit more cost efficient than the DTV. But I think in the couple of times that I've now done the DTV, minus wanting to do this without the offset, it's a very easy process as well. Like I said, the material is just a little bit more expensive. All right. All right, guys, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. If you're currently following me on my Facebook group, I want to thank you guys so much for the love and support via Facebook. And if you would like to join my group, just send a Facebook group request to Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters. And if you are currently subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel and you like my method of teaching, then please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have over 350 video tutorials on all different types of crafts, and I try to take you from the start to finish on the projects, so I don't skip around when I'm, trying to teach you how to do something. And so, yeah, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. And you guys know my motto is each one reach one, so that each one can teach one. And you guys have an amazing day. Bye.